Hi guys, it's Khal and welcome to the first video in this Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered series. Before I dive into the gameplay, I am a huge fan of Assassin's Creed since the original. I have been very excited to play this remaster for myself and for you guys. I feel quite nostalgic, to be honest, because when the original came out in 2012, I was a 16-year-old. I remember when it was released, I had to wait a few days until my birthday to play it. And it was so amazing after school, playing all evening and night. It took me about 3 days to complete everything, and that's just how much I really enjoyed it. So it's quite full circle for me for having to replay a game from my teenage years. And I did hear quite a few things about the remaster, aside from the usual resolution bump, improved textures, character models, lighting system, and quite a few things, quite a few reworked game mechanics, one in particular, the stealth system. I don't know much about the rest, but we will find out on this journey together. So if you guys have any questions or thoughts on the game or feedback for me, just drop it in the comment section and I will check it out. Let's start.
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars. As the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end. we're here. Let's go.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
I think we're here.
Key. You must find the key.
Son?
Sir. Here we go again.
Desmond?
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. I guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
Okay, Desmond. While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the
Whoa, okay. It's actually been quite a long time since we've been in a simulation like this. It's not really well featured in the latest Assassin's Creed games like Origins and Odyssey.
Okay, Desmond.
It
Let's
feels quite
practice
good
climbing on these
to go
objects.
through this and the old climbing mechanics. I feel like the animations have kind of changed as well. Little. They feel a lot more fluid and faster, I would say, from what it feels like. And then there's the whole obstacle course, which is very, very, very much enjoyable. We're running around as Desmond. It's sad to say that's not something we're treated to. With the
That's
latest
the
games.
constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate. Alright, Desmond. Follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars.
And I've also missed assassinating with the Hidden Blade, but in this case it's the unarmed assassination,
All you have to do
I think.
here is jump the gap.
from what it looks like in that animation. That's a big jump.
Synchronization levels look good
yes.
now. You
Ethan.
should be able to build the world.
Kenway.
Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
Now, I don't know if you know, but this is Ethan Kenway, Templar son of pirate assassin Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Sir? Sir?
Yes, everything's
all right,
good.
sir?
Yes, fine. I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Thank you.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
Invitation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
I am noticing some similarities and some differences. I'd say for sure the lighting system has definitely changed. It looks a lot more vibrant now.
You are requested to kindly find your seats.
I remember looking back at the comparison videos. The original was a lot more duller, not
Good
as
evening, sir. This
colourful
way,
as
please.
this is right now. But I feel like, when you play a new game, you don't
My
really
apologies.
think about those sort of things. Like, for me, I can't even remember how it looked on the original release title. But looking back at it now, I'm actually quite shocked.
Evening, Hatham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't. On to business then. Do you see him?
Eagle Vision. I actually missed this variation of Eagle Vision. Of course, now we have in the latest games, the last two latest games, Origins and Odyssey, we were treated to a different variation of Eagle Vision. We've got actually Eagle Sense through a special connection with Icarus and Senu. It's quite fresh, but yeah, diving back to this game is definitely nostalgic, for sure. Whenever I played through this mission, I'd be a bit shocked, like, how do these people not notice there's a random man climbing the walls? I feel like that's something we could probably notice if we actually saw that happening in a theatre. But I will say this is probably like, I didn't really enjoy this first mission, the introduction to the game, having to go behind, pick locks, and find our target. It was definitely good. It was just the whole idea of it, being stealthy and going behind the theatre to get to the other side. Like, for example, right now, okay, yeah, I remember this when it fell down. I thought at first, what? But it's quite a little jump scare for sure. Rather than just the usual climbing. I feel like they could add those in when climbing buildings in general. I feel like that could be a good way to sort of make climbing more interesting.
Haytham. You should have come to me. We would have found another way.
Yes. But then you would have known. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
As am I.
I didn't even give that a second. I've just got an itchy trigger finger for the hidden blade. He had to die. That shot right there is so creepy. Like, it's. I remember when I was playing the Harry Potter games. Well, probably the first three on PS1 and PS2 is when you'd be like sneaking around in dungeons, and Professor Snape would catch you. Yeah. Just really creepy, but yeah. Right now we've got to exit. Find our way back.
Come on, please! Over there! That's the one that man there! Seize him! A man was killed in
Well, you definitely got the wrong man. It was me. But you don't know that.
No pushing, please! Let us through!
Push.
Peace, friends, there is no danger!
I can't get out here fast enough.
It happened right in that.
Alright, now just making my way. Out of my way. That's right.
Order! We must have order!
Imbecile!
Alright, ladies, stop blocking my way. Get out.
Where are you going?
Jeez.
I'm searching on here. You search down there. Very well. If you find anyone, give a shout.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
Shall we be off then?
Aye. To Fleet and Bride.
By your command.
Fascinating. Gentlemen, I hold in my hand a key. And if this book is to be believed, it will open the doors of a storehouse built by those who came before.
Ah, yes. Those who ruled, reigned, and vanished from the world. Do we know what it is that will be held within?
It could contain certain knowledge. Perhaps a weapon, or something as yet unknown, unfathomable in its construction and purpose. It could be any of these things, or none of them. They are still an enigma, these precursors. But of one thing I am certain. Whatever waits behind those doors shall prove a great boon to us all.
Or our enemies, should they find it first.
They won't. You've seen to that.
I assume you know where this storehouse is?
Ah, Mr. Harrison.
Gentlemen.
How fare your calculations?
I believe the site lies somewhere within this region.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
My apologies. Were that I could be more accurate.
That's all right. It suffices for a start. And that is why we've called you here, Master Kenway. We'd like for you to travel to America, locate the storehouse, and take possession of its contents.
I'm yours to command, although a job of this magnitude will require more than just myself.
Of course. Upon this paper are the names of 5 men sympathetic to our cause. Each is also uniquely suited to aid you in your endeavor. With them at your side, you will want for nothing.
Well, then I'd best be on my way.
I knew our faith in you was not misplaced. We've booked you passage to Boston. Your ship leaves at dawn. Go forth, Hatham, and bring honor to us all.
Okay, now that's the first memory of sequence 1 done. It's time to go to Boston.
Fresh air might do me good.
And then all will be well.
You sure about that?
Of course. Have I ever led you astray?
Nah. Though you don't sit right with the others.
Have faith, my friend. You?
Seems our esteemed guest has deigned to grace us with his presence. You might want to head back to your quarters. Top deck's no place for tender parnells.
So I thought. And yet here you are.
Fancy yourself a joker, eh? Let's see how funny you find this.
That's enough, Graves.
Stay out of this.
Listen to this, Hector. Thinks he can swagger on up here and declare himself king of the castle.
Please, fellas, call this off. If the captain sees us...
To hell with the captain. And to hell with you, Mills. Whose side you on, anyway?
I'm ready to go again if you are.
This is unwise.
Why's that? You think I'm afraid of you?
No. But you should be.
I don't know who you think you are, mate, but never fuck with the Kenway. Take that.
Do you yield?
Never! How do you like these odds?
What's the meaning of this? Captain, explain yourself at once, Mr. Kenway.
These folk... We were simply passing the time with a bit of sport, Captain.
How about you pass the time by doing your goddamn jobs instead? I wasn't aware I was paying you to loll about. A word, please, Mr. Kenway.
Oh, I nearly forgot. There's your knife back.
I don't care for you, Mr. Kenway. I've had nothing but trouble since you came aboard.
Your problems have nothing to do with me.
I beg your pardon?
You're a poor leader, ill-tempered and cruel, and it's clear your crew has no respect for you.
Look, I don't want to argue. In fact, I need a favor.
Oh, this is rich.
I suspect some of the men intend to mutiny.
Really? What a surprise.
As I cannot trust any of them, I am compelled to turn to you.
And why should I help you?
Because if they do intend to betray, I'm the only hope you have of reaching America alive. Well, what will it be?
If what you say is true, what other choice do I have?
Thank you.
But let me be clear. Should you ever dare to insult or threaten me again, I'll not hesitate but to cut off your head myself. Are we understood? Excellent. Good day.
Mr. Kenway.
Captain?
Whatever they're up to, I believe it's coming to a head.
I'd best get to work.
He's cut our rations again. Claims we're not provisioned for such luxuries.
It's not right that you should feast on lamb, white, whilst we're stuck with tinned
You looking
fish.
for another fight? That it? Go away.
Quite the basting you gave Graves and Quill.
Wasn't by choice.
Aye. Blockheads, the both of them. Where are my manners? Louis Mills. Pleased to meet you.
Hatham Kenway. So, should I be watching my back?
I think the boys learned their lesson. They're normally not so nasty. Honest, it's just the past few crossings have been a bit rough.
Oh?
Captain's trying to cut costs. Reduced rations, lower wages, more dangerous cargo. It's put the crew on edge.
Is there cause for concern, then?
Not if I can help it. But the captain needs to think about the way he treats his men.
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
You there! I have some questions for you.
That's nice, but I ain't got time to gossip. Probably wouldn't have anything useful to share anyway. You want information? Try the cook or the doctor. Everyone's always chatting them up.
Word, Doctor, if you have a moment.
Have you taken ill?
Oh, nothing like that. I was wondering if you'd heard any rumblings of trouble aboard.
What sort of trouble?
Unusual complaints or grievances? Men taking issue with the captain or the
You
passengers?
sound just like James. Like I told him, I've been much too busy with my research to notice anything not work-related.
And where might I find James?
The galley's your best bet. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Are you James?
Aye.
Hatham Kenway. Pleased to meet you.
I know who you are.
I was hoping you could answer some questions.
I figured as much, but not here. Follow me. So, what do you want to know?
Have you seen or heard anything out of the ordinary since we left port? Anything that gives cause for concern?
Some of the men have been gathering at night on the upper deck. I've only caught bits of their conversations, so I couldn't say for certain what they're up to. But I suspect it bodes ill.
Is it a mutiny they're planning?
All I know is they've little love for the captain. Mills has been trying to talk him down, but there's only so much one man can do.
Thank you for the information.
I only wish to see us reach the colonies alive.
Evening, sir.
How are things?
Calm and quiet. Just the way I like it. What brings you topside?
Thought I'd wander a bit. Stretch my legs. That's all.
Take care where you tread. The deck hides all manner of danger in the dark.
What was that? Someone's throwing cargo overboard. But why?
He's a shifty fella. Won't hardly take his...
He's cut our rations again. Claims we're not provisioned for such luxuries.
It's not right. Feast on lamb and wine, whilst we're stuck with tinned fish and biscuits.
Curious. Most curious. Any news? Each night it's the same. I scout one area,
and they dropped the painted barrels from another. I'm going to need to recruit an extra pair of eyes. Maybe James or Mills.
Why are they doing this?
Near as I can tell, the barrels serve as markers. They're leaving a trail. My fear is it's only a matter of time before whoever's following it.
Ship sighted aft! She's making ready to fire!
Beat to quarters, men! Ready the... Brace! Everybody down! A warning shot! It's dead! Man the cannons! Make ready to fight! I want you below decks.
Why? Let me help you secure the ship.
Do you know how to rig a sail? To load a cannon? To wage war at sea? I didn't think so. Now return to your cabin, or do I need to have you escorted? Secure the hatch!
Haytham.
Have you been topside? A ship's appeared and means to board us. It's strange. There's no sign of mutiny aboard. Doesn't make sense.
Ah, but it does.
What do you mean?
Did you think you could escape from London so easily after what you did at the opera? That we wouldn't notice? That we wouldn't follow?
Ah. So that's what this is about.
Surrender, and I will see that you are treated with honor.
If you wish to treat me with honor, give me a sword.
Are you sure this is how you want to play it?
Told you to stay below decks.
I did as you asked. Only Mills was there waiting for me. He's the one that drew that ship here. There was no mutiny, only him.
What do they want?
Me.
Then they can have you.
Is that so?
They'll catch us anyway. There's nothing to be done.
I can think of something.
You wish us to sail into the storm?
It's our only chance.
I won't do it.
Then I will.
All right, all right. We need those ropes secured! I told you this was
Calm
madness.
yourself. I'll fix your sail for you.
We need more speed! Loose the sails! Haytham, you take the foremast! James, to the mainmast with you!
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Make ready for our arrival, men!
Arrival? I see no land, only this interminable fog.
The gulls tell us all we need to know. Climb into the crow's nest and you'll see.
Alright guys, so there we have the first part of the series and the introduction title. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and again, if you have any questions or feedback, drop a comment. I would very much appreciate it. Okay, and I'll see you on the next video very soon.